Let me dismiss that. So it's going to be all in one now. So I'm going to start with AltspaceVR, some unique opportunities in cyberspace. The first thing is onboarding, and that's one thing I think there's a lot of opportunities here, and I've done a few trial runs and experimentations, and I'm pretty impressed what is available here and what you can do. As you can see here, I ran an event called Intro to Hive. It got featured. I actually ran two of them that were featured. And I've learned quite a bit about the process of doing it, what's involved, how to get featured, building worlds, and talking to people and interacting with people and how people respond to it. One of the things I've noticed, tried to do is, if you look at this slide, this is what's presented when you look into the events area. And I didn't want to focus on getting paid. So if you look at my slide, it says creators, bloggers, vloggers, gamers. I didn't want to say, hey, come here to get paid. We don't want that as our onboarding message. But it's very hard to come up with a message that interests people to come here. So I need to work on that, but I wanted to get something together quickly as a quick experiment and just to see what was possible and use as much assets that I have already developed now. And then if it works out, then go further and build stuff specifically for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the world that I created and use for these Intro to Hive events and talk a little bit about how they went, and then go even further into different things. So this is the Intro to Hive event world that I created. When you walk in, you land in this little area. You guys have been here if you went to the pump events. And I have the title slide here that's up in the top. And then you walk into the next room, and it has a lot of the dApps and games. And here's Splinterlands, Leo Finance. That's just a nice little artwork I saw. And then on the left side, I have NFT Showroom, D-City. And then as you walk into the main room, there's some other marketing. It's mostly generic branding, different things that make Hive look good and give people something to look at. And then on the other side, I put a Christmas tree. I put the Hive branding up there for my avatar. Some different hives with the different front ends. It's an older image, so it still has the E-Steam thing. I want to redo some of this stuff. And then Peak D, you could see up there as well. And then you could see the upstairs. And then on the main floor, you could see my presentation similar to what you see here. I had a board. I'm using the same software as here. And then on the bottom where people are standing is my card where I wanted to promote HiveFest and get other people to potentially come here. And then here's where I did the presentation. If you look, you can see that I was starting to explain what a blockchain is, and I explained what Hive was. And then I talked about what you can do here, the opportunities that are presented here, different dApps, different things that are available that are already created. And then I talked about witnesses and how the blockchain is secured and run. And I kept pausing every few slides with a slide that said questions. And I basically opened the floor for anyone to ask questions and kind of get real-time feedback. And because this is really complicated for first user, and that's one of our biggest problems on Hive, is it's extremely complicated. So I wanted to give opportunities to just give a little bit of information, then get questions, because all I really cared about was the questions. I didn't care about presenting. I wanted to get people to talk and engage and answer questions and give them feedback and kind of get that. So I did that, and I had a pretty good turnout. The first one I did at around 9 o'clock, and I originally set it up for 7 because that's what I was going to do. But then I had to go take my son to basketball, and I had to sit there and wait. So I moved it down to 9, and I ended up getting around, if I remember correctly, about 25 people to show up. It was staggered, so 5 people were there for the presentation, which was kind of awkward because I didn't want to wait too long. But I didn't want to start it right away and then have people show up after. So it was kind of awkward setting it up. And then I ran it. Then I had people trickling in throughout the whole hour. And then I left the event, and I thought the event would close, but it doesn't. And then I saw people showing up later, so I hopped back in and I started talking to people. And we had some people sign up and everything like that. And just free talk to people. One person I talked to was on Steam before, and he kind of wanted an idea what was changed, what happened, and all that stuff like that. And I set up a Bitly link, which was Bitly /try Hive, and you would go there, and it would go to the Hive on board, and they can sign up nice and easy, something that people can screenshot and then do that. So that worked out really well. I did another event a week later because I wanted to test some other features and featuring and different things. And I did get the event featured the first time. It was, I was told that you can't do it that way, but they pulled some strings for me, and I was able to feature it 4 hours before the event. But I didn't get many of the benefits of featuring, so I did one a week out and got that featured right away. And I wanted to see how that turned out. But I did the timing at 7 o'clock, and I wanted to see how that would work out. And it was too early. I found that I think if you want to do an event, you need to do something like 9 o'clock EST if it's a weekday and then the weekends. But I'm going to go into that later when I talk about some tips if you want to do something like this. The next thing I want to talk about is an NFT event. And this is not my NFT event. This is something I saw somebody doing. And for a while, this event was going on like every other day. And it was a lot of people there. And there was a lot of cool things that I'm going to show you real quick with some slides just to show you what it looks like and what they were doing. And this is what NFT Showroom can be doing. So I'm going to go through those. This is their event. This is their title slide. Really nice. Talks about art, tech, music, but it's basically an NFT bazaar type of thing. And if you go there, they have NFT showing around, and it's different platforms. If you look at the platform, they have Rabble and they have Super Rare and all the different ones. So it's not any specific one. I don't know what their advantage was. I tried to talk to them, but they haven't been online for a little bit now. But I'm just going to show you, like, it's similar to what we have built in there, but we've been doing HiveFest or SteamFest for a long time, and I've always said we need to spend more time doing fests for people that haven't joined Steam or Hive, rather than doing it to ourselves. I mean, it's great to have our friends here and talk about things, but we really need to do it to normies and other people and onboard them and get them interested. So this is their event. They have like little islands. They had some bugs where they created the world without flying, and people just kept falling off. And it was pretty funny because you'd go to see the art and then you just fall down to the ground and restart to the beginning. But you could see there's a lot of people here. This was a popular event. They ran it almost every day. Almost every day I saw this event in the calendar for a long time. And it was really popular. There was lots of people here. They were really interested in it. I don't know if anyone bought anything or anything like that, but it wasn't like people just set it up and nothing happened. Now I want to talk about another event. This is an event by Danny Coyne, who is actually doing something similar to what I'm thinking. He has an event on Sunday that he's been having good success with, and it's a crypto discussion event. And I wanted to make this one, but I missed it. But he told me, and he said, I can quote this, is he had 17 concurrent users, 53 signed up as interested, and 86 totally joined during the event. Mostly, and then I asked him if they were new users or did you get a lot of repeats, because I wanted to make sure that we have a fresh pool of people coming. And he said there was a few repeats, but mostly new people. And I think that's awesome. And the reason I say this is because there's a lot of opportunities here that people can do. It's not just an intro to Hive event. You can do, for example, the open mic event where people are doing music. You can do them here and get people to watch it and then say, oh, I want to join this. How do I join this and get involved? So I want to talk a little bit about what people are doing here that are not us. There's Slick Rick's comedy. He does this every week, and it's full. You can't even get in the room half the time. That's 40 people at minimum. Sometimes it's a bigger room, but there's 40 people that go in every time. And I actually went to a few events, and I actually went on stage and did some stand-up and different things. There's this guy right in the middle who does a lot of yoga and meditation type of things. He does an event almost every week or every few days. There's some 18 and over singing clubs, and I've gone to a few that were really good. I listened to somebody that was singing Elton John, Elvis. I heard a few other things, Pearl Jam, for example, that it was cover band type of stuff. And some of it was great. Some of it was bad. The comedy was particularly bad in general, but it was a lot of engagement, and there's a lot of opportunities to do fun things like that on here. And then there's some debates, which are really popular, edgy things like that. I think are really good for getting people in there. And then I just want to show you the top end. Pitbull came in here, and it was over 1,000 people here. And I went to the event, even though I don't have any care in the world about Pitbull, but I wanted to see how it worked, what people did. And there was a long delay to get there. The world was really custom. It was really cool. Everyone got there. They were all excited. And then he went up there for about 3 minutes and it was done. And everyone was really pissed because it was just so disappointing. But it was interesting to see that whole process and what the top end looks like when you have some big celebrity show up and come here and do that. So I quickly want to talk about the possibilities here and what I had envisioned, when my brain started churning, the things I had that came to my mind when I came in here. The first thing is Hive discussions, like the intro to Hive, or even events we could do for ourselves, like how to curate, how to secure your passwords, how to protect your passwords, how to do different things that we teach people on Hive already. We can open these up to the public and they may show up and start getting interested in. And then community outreach. These are like workshops, kind of like the Anycoins thing, where we have a crypto newscast or podcast or type of thing, or any type of thing, like maybe art lessons or whatever, anything that you could do and have Hive branding around and kind of do a community type of thing, and to get people that just show up and then get involved and then want to join and be part of it. And then that's similar to the display talent, like NFTs or open mic, where we have either comedy, or we have on the chain, we have open mic where we talk about, or we have people performing music. And this would be excellent here because people love that here. This is a very popular thing. I see these rooms fill up really fast. Promote your app, so you can have like a Splinterlands presentation where you talk about Splinterlands and get people in. You can talk about Leo Finance, you can talk Diddy City, you can talk NFT Showroom. You can create these worlds really branded towards your app, and if you have any problems, I can help you with that. But it's really easy to do, and once you do that, you can reuse these worlds to do these events whenever. You could be edgy. And I think one of the things I keep thinking about doing, and I haven't done yet, is create an event that says why Hive is better than Bitcoin. And just to get people in there to start arguing, start talking about it, and start being aware of it, I thought it would be fun to try that and just to see what happens. Syndication. Another thing that would be cool is taking all Crim shows or all the MSP Wave shows and show them in AltSpace. One of the things I was trying to do is set up a room that had a live stream on YouTube, and then when I play Hunt or gaming, I could live stream. I can actually have it in there, and people could just walk in and start watching me play games. And then lastly, just mingle, just talking to people. I've talked to a lot of people about crypto, and just went to conversations, and you met Robert, met Mike. These guys are talking about crypto. There's one guy that's always been interested in crypto but never joined. Another one that's bought crypto at 15, Bitcoin at 15,000. And is holding since. There's a lot of different people here, and many of them have interests. They're 20, 30-year-olds that are into technology. They're the prime customers or the prime people that you want to have on Hive. So I'm going to finally talk about what tips you want to do to get an event in AltSpace. The first thing is you want to be featured. You want to be featured because when you're featured, you start showing up on the billboards in people's homes on different events. Wherever there's a billboard that shows off events, you'll show up there. You'll also show up on the website ahead of time. And you want to do this about a week ahead. Sorry, it's hard to read. I'm going to move a little forward. Here we go. You want to be about a week ahead of time to be able to get featured. If you do it any sooner, it's really hard unless you know somebody and they pull some strings for you, which they did for my first one. But going forward, you want to do a week ahead. That way you get the promotion and all that type of stuff. The featured events show up on the website too, which is nice. We're in Christmas time. A lot of people are going to start getting headsets. The Quest 2 has been sold out because so many people bought them for Christmas. So there's going to be a lot more people coming in here, especially with COVID still happening. You want to modify existing templates. There's these worlds, like we're in this world right now. You can customize this world and then save it and then use this as your presentation. You could put Hive branding. You could just put your branding. Like if you want to, for example, talk about Splinterlands, they could just put Splinterlands posters everywhere and different things like little guides, like quick snippets on like how to play or different things. You could do all kinds of things. If you want to do it in images, you want to make sure you optimize them, keep them around 100K, no bigger than 1,000 pixels wide. You need to create a tile image and a background image. The background image is what goes on to the website. The tile image is what's shown in the world. And then I found that if you target around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for weekdays, and then on the weekends is ideal. So that's my presentation for that thing. And I'm going to quickly move into StemGeeks and just quickly talk about this. It's not going to be much longer for this one. So I run a community. It's a Hive Engine tribe called StemGeeks. It's focused on science, technology, engineering, math. And one of the things I've noticed, a lot of people get confused with STEM Social and StemGeeks. StemGeeks is more amateur, more just hobbyist type of stuff, and they don't have to be formal journalist type of things or academic type of papers. And I notice a lot of people get confused with this. And if you don't know what STEM is science, technology, engineering, math. So if you want to get involved with a tribe, you just have to post with any of these tags: STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. StemGeeks is mostly for me to do announcements and stuff if you want to use STEM as a generic tag or any of these other ones. The tag, our community has our own token that has, it's called STEM, and it's 50% author rewards, 50% curation, 50% liquid, and then 50% penalty if you don't use our front end, StemGeeks.net. And then that's it. I didn't want to go too far into that. I do want to talk about one more thing, is the hackathon I did before was an experiment, and I'm building for the new hackathon. So that's going to be announced soon and start working on that. And I want to spend more time focusing on getting people outside of Hive aware of it, journalists, Slashdot, and different places like that, to start talking about it and promoting it there. So that's all I have. So I'm all set. So I don't know if I have any time or not for questions, but am I all done?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Marky. No, I think if you have questions for Mark, hop over to him. He will be here tomorrow as well, pulling some jokes. Mark, don't leave before you release the controls, please.
How do I do that?
Hit the X.
There you go.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hands up for Mark.